Hi everyone, it's Artemis here. I play Mallory in Disney Plus's original movie, Stargirl. And today I wanted to show you guys my process of getting ready for the premiere, as well as talking about my experience with the casting and filming of the movie. So before we get into the fancy schmancy makeup stuff, I showered, washed my face, and made sure to moisturize. Very important, kids. So now I'm going to be using the Too Faced Born This Way foundation all over my face, as well as the concealer under my eyes and on any other spots where I feel like there's discoloration or blemishes. So while I do all of that, let's talk about Stargirl. I had my audition at the very beginning of August 2018, and I actually auditioned for multiple characters. About a month later, I hadn't heard anything back, so I just assumed that I didn't get it, but then I got an email from my agent. They wanted me for one of the cheerleading roles, so they asked if I could send them a video of me doing dance or cheer, so I quickly jumped onto YouTube and searched up cheerleading music, and I started to quickly rework my favorite pieces of the routines I had when I was on a competition cheerleading squad to make an all-new routine to show off my skills. The sun was starting to set, so I ran outside so I could film my routine a few times until I got that take that I really liked. Now I'm going to be using a slightly lighter concealer, which I already had, just to highlight certain parts of my face, like underneath my eyes and on my forehead. After I sent in those clips, I got a Skype call with the dance choreographer, the legendary Mandy Moore. She's only done small things like La La Land, no big deal. About a week or two after that, I got the email that I was offered the role of Mallory. At this time, I had just moved to Boston, literally days before, so I had to drop everything there, all in their boxes, and fly to New Mexico. Now, before we go any further, I would like to thank the awesome sponsor of this video, Dossier. Dossier is a perfume brand whose scents are inspired by iconic designer scents such as Chanel, Gucci, Yves Saint Laurent, and more. However, instead of paying over $100 per bottle, you can get almost the exact same scent for only $29 per 50 milliliter bottle. Not to mention, every package comes with a little sample bottle that you can use to see if you like the scent before opening the big bottle, and if you don't like it, you can just send back the unopened big bottle within 30 days of your purchase and you'll be charged absolutely nothing. So I got 2 scents to try out, and they are Oriental Woody 1, which is inspired by Chanel's Coco Mademoiselle, and the other scent I got was Oriental 1, which is inspired by Yves Saint Laurent's Black Opium. When I smelled these, I just knew I was going to be wearing them on the red carpet at the premiere because they are so good, and now you'll just have to watch until later in the video to see which one I chose for the event. But in the meantime, thank you once again to Dossier for not only sponsoring this video, but for showing me that you exist so I can continue buying your perfumes. And if any of you are interested in getting your designer-inspired perfume for a fraction of the price, be sure to hit my link in the description below to get some and support my channel, as well as use this special 10% off discount code that's available 1 month from the time of my uploading this video for all of you lovely viewers. And now, without any further ado, let's get ready for this premiere. Now I'm going to be using the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder to set all of this and make it a little more matte. Filming the movie was an absolutely amazing, unforgettable experience. This was my first major film, and I just remember every day waking up and being so excited to go do my dream job. Next up, I'm going to be embarrassing myself by using this 3-in-1 palette that's supposed to be highlight, contour, and blush, but the highlight is darker than my actual skin tone because I am so pale. But yeah, I'm going to be using this to contour and add some blush. Please don't judge me. Next up, I'm going to be using my favorite, ultimate go-to eyeshadow palette, which is the Naked 3 palette by Urban Decay. So on this day, I used the shade Limit on my lid and basically all over. Then I used the shade Nooner in the outer corner and my crease, and the shade Dust on my eyelids for a little pop and shimmer. Up next, I have my usual winged eyeliner, which I'm going to be doing with this L'Oreal liquid eyeliner, another favorite of mine. I love this eyeliner by L'Oreal in particular because it's really easy to remove for when I inevitably make 50+ mistakes before getting the perfect wing. Filming was actually a really hectic time for me because not only was I working 10 to 12 hours a day, 5 days a week, but in addition to that, I was also still going to Harvard part-time. Luckily, my classes are online, which gives me a lot more flexibility in that area, but I still remember writing essays in my trailer or sleeping 2 hours before going back to set. But even with all of that, I wouldn't trade this experience for the world because it showed me what I'm capable of, and I'm really proud of what I did during that time. Now I'm going to be using my eyelash curler and curling my eyelashes for a long time before adding mascara to make sure they are properly curled. Oh, and while I'm curling my eyelashes, I'm going to be brushing out my brows because multitasking. As for my mascara, I'm using Nu Skin's mascara, which is a company I've talked about a lot. Pretty much my entire life, I've been using their products like their shampoo, their toothpaste, their moisturizer, all that kind of stuff, so I definitely recommend. One of the best parts about Stargirl was the cast. It was so much fun hanging out with them, and I really felt like I belonged in this group of people because they just got it. They got the lifestyle that I have, they got the dreams that I have, and it was a really accepting environment. So shout out to all of these awesome people because I really cherish our friendship and I miss you guys a lot. And now to finish off my face, I'm going to be doing my lips. Now, I mentioned that I was doing a lot during this time, but what I was doing is dwarfed by what our director, Julia Hart, was doing. She and her husband Jordan started working on developing Stargirl, and then she gave birth to her son. And then they continued and finished the movie, sometimes with her directing, with him in her arms. It was so incredible. So big shout out to Supermom Julia for letting me be a part of this amazing project. Now that it's time to get started on my hair, you can all see how it looks when it's rapidly blow dried and then just shoved into a bun so I can film. I have naturally poofy and wavy hair, and in all of this rush, that just turned into a puff. So I'm gonna start by sorting out my bangs, which these bangs have a whole unfortunate story in and of themselves. Basically, I asked for wispy bangs, and instead I got the mop you just saw on my forehead. So now, every day I have to section off the bangs that I actually wanted and pin back the bangs that I didn't want and wait for them to grow out for the next 1 to 2 years. On the bright side, I love how I made my bangs look this night, and I don't think I've ever made them look this nice again. So enjoy it while it lasts. Some of my favorite scenes to film were the cheerleading scenes because it was so much fun, there was so much adrenaline as we were all out there dancing, but it was really, really cold. Before every scene, I and everyone else was just shivering in our little cheerleading skirts, but then the music would come on and I would just give it my all and do the dance and the adrenaline would kick in and I would forget that I was cold until cut was called. Next, I'm going to be curling my hair with this pretty thick curling iron because I want to achieve that more wavy look rather than really tight curls. And my all-time favorite scene to film was the dance scene. It took a few days to film, and that as well was so cold. The lovely ladies in the wardrobe department offered to give me a coat as part of my outfit, but I declined because in my head I was like, being cold will only last these few nights, but the film will last forever. And I really liked the dress I was in, so I didn't want a coat to cover it up. Now I'm going to be taking 2 small sections of hair, one from either side of my head, and pulling them to the back of my head. Holding them rather loosely, I'm going to use a very small hairband and tie them together, and then I'm going to take the little tail that they've made and flip it up and underneath. I absolutely love the elvish look this gives to my hair, and now I'm going to be using this Tresemme hairspray to spray down everything to make sure nothing moves and to tuck back a lot of these loose strands. With all of that out of the way, it's time for me to use some Dossier perfume. And for tonight, I chose their scent Oriental One, which is inspired by Yves Saint Laurent's Black Opium. I really love the dark, rich tones in this scent, and I would definitely recommend it. Faviana Couture lent me this beautiful dress with these leaf details in this pale dusty pink. I absolutely love it. All right, enough talk about the experience. Now to go and see what it was all for.